What's up, family? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're just going to do a quick video about insulin. I know we're getting close to Christmas. Then we got like 3 or 4 days. We're going to have some good times with our family, enjoy good food, all that. I hope you guys have been doing good on this challenge. And hopefully you're getting benefits from this challenge so you can enjoy the holidays and understand that food is not the problem. We always try to make food the problem, but it's always constantly eating the food where it becomes a problem. So I just want to do a quick video to help explain insulin to you guys. Whenever we think about insulin, we think about somebody who has diabetes, who may need to go to the doctor to get shots to regulate their blood sugar, right? So insulin is naturally produced by the body. It's a hormone. It's a storage hormone. So anytime that you eat something, sugar or carbohydrates, something like that, it breaks it down into sugar. The cells need sugar for energy. And that's where insulin comes into play. Insulin is what takes the sugar, once it's broken down from the food, it takes it out of the bloodstream and into the cell where it needs to be for energy. Now, when you have too much, when you have too much sugar in the bloodstream, that's where it becomes toxic. That's how you have high blood sugar, diabetes. You get all these things when you have too much sugar in the bloodstream. So insulin is very, very important, right? So, like I was saying, insulin is a storage hormone. It tells your body to either store your two forms of energy, which is either sugar or fat, right? So once sugar is stored, it becomes glycogen, right? So it starts out once the food is in your body consumed, it starts to break it down. The body breaks it down, and it becomes glucose. Once it goes into the cell for storage, it becomes glycogen, and we use that for whenever we go work out, running, just doing anything that allows us to burn calories. The energy that we get to do that comes from the sugar, the glucose, or the glycogen, which is stored glucose, right? After that is depleted, and the reason why it goes to glucose first is because it's readily available. Like I could use it right now, right? So after that is burnt off or whatever, your next source of energy is fat. So you start dipping into the fat, right? But whenever we're eating all the time, and this is where the problem comes in, we mostly eat from morning to night, snacking all the time, 3 or 4 meals, 5 meals, or whatever. I come from a weightlifting or a bodybuilding background, so I used to have to eat like 6, 7 meals a day, and it was just terrible. I had different goals than most people, but we still see it every day, people eating all the time, which is not a good thing, right? Because once your insulin levels are continually high all the time, it's going to start storing fat, right? So it's going to always use what's available, right? The glucose, the glycogen. It's going to always use that first. So if you're always having high levels of insulin in your body, then it's never going to be able to burn fat, right? So this is what the problem that we see all the time. This is the problem that happens with people who want to lose weight but can't. They'll say, "Hey, I've been cutting my calories, trying to eat less, but I still can't lose this fat." And the reason is that you're still eating all the time, still spiking your insulin level, and your body never has time to actually get into the fat burning stage, right? So this is why I like fasting so much. Whether you're doing intermittent 16/8 or 18/6, or if you're doing long periods of fasting, uh, this is what helps regulate the insulin. Once we start doing fasting and we give the insulin some time to take a break, the body can then start using fat as an energy. So whenever the insulin levels are low, we're going to go ahead and use up all the glucose, the glycogen in our body, and then we're going to tap into that fat. And that's how you start burning fat. But if we're constantly eating all the time, constantly drinking things with sugar, all this bad stuff, processed foods, then we're going to continually have high levels of insulin, and we need to regulate that. Also, once the insulin is always so high, we become insulin resistant, and that's when that cell is not going to open the door for the insulin. So the insulin basically takes the sugar from the blood and knocks on the cell's walls or doors. Say, "Hey, I got some sugar for you. Let me in." But if it's always knocking every 2 minutes, knocking at the door, the cell is not going to answer it because it's tired of, letting the sugar in, tired of having insulin always knocking at its door. That's just like if you had somebody that's coming over every day, every second. asking for something or trying to bring you something every second. After a while, you're not going to answer the door. And once you do that, the body is smart. So it's like, hey, the cell is not responding to insulin. Let me produce more insulin. So now you have continued high levels of blood, of sugar in your blood because it's not moving into the cells. And once you fast, you regulate those levels and you become insulin sensitive, which that's what we all should be, insulin sensitive. And just from like a lot of my studies and just reading stuff, insulin causes a lot of problems, not just diabetics. Um, it causes high blood pressure. It causes some forms of cancer. Like it's a lot of things that it causes just by being insulin resistant. So that's why I'm a big proponent on fasting, not just weight loss or being in shape, looking good or whatever. Insulin, it regulates the insulin so that we can tap into the fat loss, and it also helps us to be able to regenerate our body, help with our cells, clean our body up, and that's when the real healing comes into effect. So I know you guys have been on this challenge and fasting and everything, so you probably have noticed that you have less cravings, you have more energy, and you can do a lot more things that you thought that you maybe couldn't do because you didn't have that food in your body. And that's because the body is regulating itself. It's not always in a higher alert stage because it has so much insulin in this body. Now it can do the things that the body needs to do. Cleanse the cells, burn the fat, get the fat out of you. We're not supposed to have fat. Like let me make this clear. You have fat on your body. You need fat for insulation, regulating your heat and temperature or whatever. But once we start getting fat around our organs and we have fat around our stomach, in different places, different pockets of our body, that's not a good thing. All fat is a place where toxins in our body is held. So if you have a lot of fat in your body, you have a lot of toxins in your body, and you definitely need to fast. So I want you guys to think about fasting as a way to regulate the insulin in your body. I don't want you to think about it as starving yourself, but you're healing yourself. I want you to learn how to eat 2, maybe 3 meals a day. We don't need to snack in between the meals. That's why I preach eating either a whole food plant based or take away all the processed stuff and eating clean proteins. If you are a meat eater, eating clean meats, clean cuts, and a lot of veggies and fruits, right? So this is just a quick video, guys. I want to help you guys understand what insulin does to the body. I know we're about to have a good time with our family and enjoy, good food, good drinks, and all these things. And you can do all that. You can still do all that and also stick with this fasting challenge. So I would recommend that you fast. I want you guys to also think about doing a 24-hour fast. Um, that's where the deep cleansing starts. I'm going to drop a 24-hour fasting my ebook. I'm going to drop that in the group. Just click on the link and download it. And it tells you, it gives you an overview of how to do a 24-hour fast. So I want you guys to think about that either after the holidays or going up before the holidays. Some things to think about, but hope you guys enjoy your holidays, enjoy your family, and don't make this thing so complicated. It's an easy lifestyle that you can adapt, and you can use this for the rest of your life and be a benefit to your life, right? So if you guys have any questions or any concerns or anything, drop them in the group or send me a DM and we'll get it figured out for you. All right, till next time.